Okay, believe it or not, you need a team to sell your house. You cannot do it by yourself. And one of the most important members of this team is actually the attorney that is going to do the closing for you. This is the attorney that's going to gather up all the paperwork and put everything on a hot one to make sure all the numbers match to the sales contract that you agreed to sell your property for. They're going to be all the closing costs, everything that is involved in the sale of a property. This attorney is going to have to be paid by you and by the buyer, and there are many ways how you can negotiate with this. But my advice to you, if you're doing this on your own, I will go ahead and pick an attorney in a settlement company. Any settlement company. You may ask your friends, if they know of one. But other than that, just go over there and talk to them and say, I'm selling my property and I'm bringing the people over here to do the closing. I would like you to help me prepare all the information I need to put before I sell the property. And they're going to advise you, and then also whenever you get an offer, you can bring the contract to the attorney so they can check it out to make sure that everything is okay and correct. They're not going to be looking out for your best interest to see that you're going to get the most money or the less contingencies, but they're going to make sure the contract is written in a way that in case something happens, we can go to court and making sure that the buyer does what they're saying they're going to do. But that is a good help for you to be able to go to an attorney and say, here's the contract, check it out, and if everything is good, then we're going to accept it, and I want you to go ahead and start the process with the title, and if there's any other things that they have to do in order for them to prepare a clear title so they can be passed to the new buyer. They can start doing that. Normally in the state of Maryland, you do not have the right to pick the closing location whenever you're selling a house. Actually, that right is for the buyer to choose. They're the ones who actually say, I want to buy your house and I want to close on this settlement company. But in this case, you're selling as a for sale by owner, and more likely you're going to find somebody who may not be represented by another person, and that could be part of what you can talk to it about, agreeing about the points of the sale of the house. And one of the things you can say is, I already initiated a process to sell my house, and they already performed the title search and everything else at this company, and if you would like to go ahead and write an offer, please choose them to do the closing. You have the right to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. In some cases, they will say, I do not trust that settlement company, I want to choose my own, and they have the right to do that. Don't get upset about that. And worst case scenario, you can have half a closing, and your company, the company you chose, pay your fees with them, and the other half of the closing and the other company. That is possible. But regardless, you need to be trusting on this case. If that's the case, you may want to be fair with the first settlement company. Say, I'm sorry, the buyer does not want to settle here, but I still owe you some money for the time you spent. How much it is, let me pay you for it. And then accept the contract so you can close on the place where the buyer actually wants to settle. So it's up to you. But I just want to make sure you understand. You need a team from the very beginning. Choose the attorney, choose the settlement company from the very beginning, and ask them for guidance how to go through the process until you get a contract, okay? Hope this helps you.